Welcome back, everybody. It is day 3 of week 2 of RPS at home, and I'm really excited. You can see that I have my friend here, Cuddles. Cuddles is my bear, and we are going to be listening to a story by Stuart J. Murphy called A Fair Bear Share. While you listen, snuggle up if you have a bear at home that you can get to snuggle up to while you watch the story. I also got a snack that I brought, and the characters in the story are actually collecting these things that are my snack. The characters in the story are going to be collecting berries and nuts and seeds. So I grabbed a snack of some berries, nuts, and seeds that Cuddles and I can share during our story. And after the story, we're going to work together and we're going to be counting up how many nuts they collected in the story. So I can't wait to enjoy the story with you. So make sure you have a comfy spot and make sure if you have a bear that you get your bear. And we will see each other in a bit. Bye.
This book is called A Fair Bear Share by Stuart J. Murphy, illustrated by John Spears. Mama Bear said to her 4 little cubs, "If you collect enough nuts, berries, and seeds, then tonight I'll bake you my special blue ribbon blueberry pie, and you'll each get a fair bear share." The cubs went to the forest where there were lots of sweet-tasting nuts. 3 of them worked very hard. But the 4th little cub just wanted to play. She climbed trees, she swung from branches. She didn't look for even one nut. The cubs ran home and gave their baskets to Mama Bear. She said, "If we put the nuts in groups of 10s and put the ones that are left over next to the groups, then we can quickly add them up." The cubs piled up the nuts they had collected by 10s. The first cub had 11. A pile of 10 plus 1. The second cub had 14. 1 group of 10 and 4 left over. The third cub had 12. 1 group of 10 and 2 left over. The 4th cub didn't have any at all. That's 0 nuts. That's 37 nuts altogether. 3 of you did a very good job. Next, the cubs went to the field to pick big, juicy blueberries. 3 of them picked really fast. Uh-oh. The 4th little cub still wanted to play. She skipped and ran. She chased after bees. She didn't pick even one berry. The cubs ran home with their baskets again. "Let's group the berries by 10s and by 1s and add them all up," Mama Bear said. The cubs picked up their berries by 10s. The first cub had 21. That's 2 groups of 10 and 1 left over. The second cub had 15. That makes 1 group of 10 and 5 left over. The third cub had 13. 1 group of 10 and 3 left over. The 4th cub didn't have any at all. That's 0 berries. That's 49 berries altogether. 3 of you did your share of the work. Then the cubs went to the meadow to find some nice crunchy seeds. 3 of them grabbed all they could. Oh, the 4th little cub wanted to play some more. She turned lots of cartwheels. She jumped all around. She didn't grab even one seed. Again, they ran home and gave Mama Bear their baskets. The cubs piled up their seeds by 10s. The first cub had 23, 2 groups of 10 and 3 left over. The second cub had 17, 1 group of 10, 7 left over. The third cub had 26. That's 2 groups of 10 and 6 left over. The 4th cub didn't have any at all. That's 0 seeds. Then they saw that they could make another group of 10. 6 tens and 6 seeds. That's 66 seeds altogether. 3 of you are very good bears. Mama Bear looked at all the nuts, berries, and seeds that had been collected. She said, "I'm afraid there's not enough to make blue ribbon blueberry pie. 3 of you worked very hard, I know, but 1 of you did not do a fair bear share." The 3 hard-working cubs all looked at their little sister. She looked sadly down at the floor. All of a sudden, she jumped up, took 3 baskets, and hurried out the door. First, she ran to the forest and found lots of nuts. Next, she skipped to the field and picked bunches of berries, and she raced to the meadow and grabbed every seed she could. Then she ran home holding the baskets tightly in her little cub paws. She proudly handed Mama Bear her baskets. Mama Bear said, "Now it looks like you've worked hard too. Let's put things in piles by 10s and by 1s and add them to all that we already have." We had 37 nuts. That's 3 groups of 10 and 7 left over. The little cub had 15 more. That's 1 group of 10 and 5 left over. 4 tens and 12 nuts. We can make another group of 10. 5 tens and 2 nuts left over. Mama Bear emptied the next basket. We had 49 berries. That's 4 groups of 10 and 9 left over. The little cub had 33 more. That's 3 groups of 10 and 3 left over. 7 tens and 12 berries. We can make another group of 10. Now that's 8 tens and 2 berries left over. Mama Bear emptied the third basket. We had 66 seeds. That's 6 groups of 10 and 6 left over. The little cub had 25 more. That's 2 groups of 10 and 5 left over. 8 tens and 11 seeds. Again, we can make another group of 10. 9 tens and 1 seed. That's 91 seeds in all. Hooray! Tonight I'll bake the blue ribbon blueberry pie. As they finished their dinner, the little cubs smelled wonderful blueberry smells from the oven. Mama Bear said, "I'm so proud of you all for working so hard. The pie is almost ready, and each of you deserves a fair bear share." Soon, there was very little left, just a couple of nuts. 1 or 2 berries, a few seeds, and 4 blue bear cub smiles. I hope you enjoyed the book.
Welcome back. I hope everyone enjoyed our story. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to have Cuddles come, and he's going to come and sit, and he's going to watch us do a little math together. So I need you to make sure you get a pencil and paper, or a dry erase board, marker, crayons, whatever materials you can use, and we're going to draw some base 10 blocks and keep track of how many nuts they collected in the story. So I'm going to see what you remember from the story. Okay, so today's I can statement is I can group objects into sets of 10s and 1s, and then I can add groups of 10s and 1s and write a numeral. So right here, I went ahead and I have drawn a chart. I have a place value chart, and then I just added, so instead of having a T chart, I also added one more column that says nuts. So go ahead and take your pencil and paper, draw a line across the top, and then you're going to draw 2 lines going down. And you're going to copy the word nuts, tens, and ones. When you are ready, you can pause it, and when you're ready, press play. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing this while you're doing it. So who can remember the very first bear, how many nuts they collected in the story? Good. There were 11 nuts. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to be drawing our tens and ones using base 10 blocks. Now, to make things a little bit easier, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be drawing my rod of 10 like this. So 11 has 1 right here in the tens place. So I'm going to draw 1 10, and then it has 1 in the ones place. Now for my units, I'm just going to do a dot. Okay, I'm going to make it that easy. So I'm going to go ahead, and that is 11, which is 10 plus 1 more is 11. Now, the next bear, do you remember how many nuts the second bear collected? Well, I have written down here it was 14, which is 1 10 and 4 ones. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my base 10 blocks. So again, what number is in my tens place? Yeah, I have 1 rod of 10. And how many ones did I have? 4 ones. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so my next bear, does anybody remember how many the third bear collected? Let me look. Oh, I know. 12. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw my base 10 blocks for 12. How many rods do I need? You're right. I need 1 rod. How many ones do I need? I need 2 units for 2 ones. Okay, now the fourth bear in the story, remember the first time at the beginning of the story, did not collect any of the nuts. But the second half of the story, the bear went out to collect the nuts. Does anybody remember how many nuts the bear got? You're right. Somebody has a great memory out there. 15. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use my base 10 blocks to draw what 15 looks like. How many rods do I have? Yep, 1 rod of 10. How many ones do I have? Yes, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, the last part that we need to do is we need to figure out the total. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write total. So I need to know the total. I'm going to be adding them up. How many total? So I'm also going to draw a line right here just to help me keep everything organized. There we go. Okay, so the total number of nuts that were collected by all 4 bears. Now, before I do that, I'm going to look over here and see if any of my ones could be grouped together to make 10. Do I have 10 that I could trade? So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, what I can do is I can trade these. That's a group of 10. So I'm going to trade those for what? Another rod. So I'm going to trade those for another rod of 10. Okay. So let's take a look now at what we have. So I'm going to be counting how many 10 rods I have. I have 1, 2 10s, 3 10s, 4 10s, 5 10s. So I have 5 10s. Now, how many ones did I have left over? Well, after I traded, I only have 1, 2. I only have 2 ones left over. So my total is 52. Now let's see if I'm correct. I'm going to count them. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 51, 52. So I have 52 nuts that were gathered in our story. Great job. Our I can statement for today was I can group objects into sets of 10s and 1s, and I can add groups of 10s and 1s and write the numeral. Did you do that? Cuddles did. I hope you did too. I want to end today by giving a huge thank you to Nancy Pierrot, who was reading our story, A Fair Bear Share by Stuart J. Murphy, on YouTube. I hope to see everybody tomorrow where we're going to continue working on place values with 10s and 1s. Bye.